Hey coach, is this a good deal? Well, there's lots of things that go into that calculation. Let's talk about it today on the Landlord Coach Daily show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Landlord Coach Daily show. My name is Mark Dolfini, your host and Landlord Coach. I don't know, I really need to work on that intro, don't I? And Landlord Coach. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about, this is going to be a short one today. Hey coach, is this a good deal? There's a couple of people that I've seen posting on different forums and asking me different advice on different things. And I guess from a fundamental perspective, I'm seeing people be very motivated buyers. And I will tell you that when, all the buyers, you're looking for motivated sellers, right? That's what you're always looking for, is to be a motivated seller, because there's an emotion attached to that. That's what makes them a motivated seller, right? They may have a divorce situation, they may have an estate situation where someone passed away, or they may be going broke, right? And they've got creditors beating at their door and they need to get this thing sold. So that makes them obviously an emotional seller. And there's a lot of emotional buying going on because there's this fear of missing out for people. And that is terrifying when I see some of the numbers that people are paying for rental properties right now. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to get into a lot of granular numbers on this. I just want you to think about this. And, like the 1% rule, which is generally, if you're buying a, say a $100,000 property, it's nice that you get $1,000 per month, which tends to be a rule of thumb. But I don't like rules of thumb generally when I'm looking at my specific criteria for buying a property. I actually want to go through all the individual numbers. And this is where I see the wheels come off the wagon. So that's what I want to talk about today. It's going to be kind of a short one today. Plus, I also need to go pick up our children because they're, I don't want them to be thinking that they're homeless. But, one of the things that I see often that people overestimate is the amount of rent that they think they can get for a property. And a lot of times they're using, I see stuff on Zillow where they use rent zestimates. And quite frankly, I would rather you get your data from something that's in the business. If you're not familiar with it, lots of times you can just type the address into Google and lots of stuff will pop up. You'll get rental data, you'll get sales data, you'll get all sorts of stuff like that. But let's assume you have a conservative estimate in terms of what you think that the rent is. Most of the time I'm seeing people, they go, oh well, if your rent's going to be this and your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payment are going to be, whatever it is, X or Y or whatever, you're going to make the rent minus your mortgage payment, right? You are dead wrong because there's other expenses that come out, right? Other than taxes and insurance and your principal payment. But let's just pretend that you buy the property in cash. You still deserve a meaningful and good return on your money, right? Otherwise, you might as well just left it in the bank and made 0.7% interest if you're lucky, right, on $100,000. So what are some of the things that I calculate in? Well, vacancy expense is actually one of those things that's a real expense, and I will set that money aside for when I have periods of vacancy. Now, in single-family dwellings in my market, they tend to come vacant about every other year, give or take, on average. So therefore, I would calculate a vacancy percentage that would be based on 24 months, right? So I would take 1,000 divided by 24, and that's the allocation that I would set aside each month. And I fund that account. I fund that so when I actually do have a period of vacancy, I can take that money, I can pay myself, and it's not this awful experience, right? I don't have these wild fluctuations in my cash flow. But what are some other things that you can do to help offset these fluctuations in your cash flow is budgeting for things like CapEx. Well, what's capital expenditure? I'm not going to get into the granular details on that. I believe on the YouTubes, if you want to go in there, you can check. I've got a video in there about that, but you can check that on about how to calculate capex. So specifically, if it's a roof that you need to replace, or an HVAC system or whatever else it is, that's what needs to get taken care of. So these are the sorts of things that you need to take care of, like your utility costs, your advertising expenses and things like that. But for God's sakes, please don't be a motivated buyer. Right? That's pretty much the long and short of it. But anyway, just a short video today. I'm going to go get our children, and I'm out of here. So please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have an awesome day, and I will see you guys next time.